Hi, guys. I came on just a couple minutes early. Sometimes that's a better way to let you guys come on board. Oh, hi. There's already 10 of you there almost. So, everybody want to just give a quick hi so I can see who's coming on? Hey, Beth Belot. Did you guys, I think, got some snow up there in Maine. Woo. And Beth, is it Malik? You'll have to let me know if I say it right, or Malik. There's a few ways you can do it. And Beverly Watucky, I think probably. Deanna Pelletier and Donna Herman. And hey, whoops. Hey, Laura, out there in California. I'm so jealous. You're, of course, saying happy Monday. Charlotte from Georgia and Linda. Oh, Linda's saying thanks for all the book recommendations. Okay. And I'm going to get more of them. I promised you. I have two things I have to do. I have to do the list of cosmetics and things and skincare and the list of books. I've been busy cleaning out all the file drawers in my office here. I found so many amazing pictures. I can't wait to show some of them to you. Ida saying, you're anxious for today's show. I think you're going to like today's show. I really do. Make sure everything looks like it's got a little bit of a. All right. So today is Monday. It's April 27th. And I looked it up. I mean, do you realize Friday's the 1st of May? Is that crazy that Friday is going to be the 1st of May? I can't believe it. So I looked it up to see if today was any kind of a national holiday. It's National Prime Rib Day. I only eat prime rib if I'm like out at a restaurant that specializes in it. Do you guys make prime rib at home? I don't, but anyway. Wednesday is International Dance Day. So I think, I'm just saying that we should all make a pact. Come on, you guys are going to be in this with me. We should all make a pact that on Wednesday, International Dance Day, that we all agree that at some time during that day, we're going to pick out a song, and you can go in your bedroom and close the door if you don't want anyone to see. But just promise me you're going to pick out a song and you're going to dance to that song all the way through to the end. I probably would do maybe Justin Timberlake. What is it? Can't Stop the Feeling. Love that. Of course, if I was in a different mood, I might do Joe Cocker. You Can Leave Your Hat On. All right. So today, let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. Wait, tomorrow is National Superhero Day. And I'm going to have a superhero on tomorrow, Charlie Gibson. He's such a great guy. And you guys have been asking me to have Charlie on. So it's going to be Joan and Charlie back together again. And I talked to him. He's totally in. So we'll have him on with us tomorrow. But if you could be a superhero, what would you want your superpower to be? I asked my girls. One of them said she'd want to be invisible. Like you could be able to read people's thoughts. I wouldn't want to do that. Oh, then you'd hear what they were saying about you. I think I would want to be able to fly. When I was a kid, I always had dreams about flying. So you can think about that one. But now, last week, I think it might have actually been last Monday, we had a family therapist on named Prepo Toplitsky. He was talking about couples and divorce and what's happening with all of us here in our house and everybody just kind of at each other's throats, not having a lot of empathy, and that abuse has been on the uprise and that divorce requests have been on the uptick. Well, today we're going to talk about a different kind of divorce. We're going to talk about friend divorce. And, just think about it. Have you had someone in your life that was like always there? You were close friends, and then something happens and they just stop calling and they don't answer your calls or your emails or your texts. And you think, what the heck happened? So I'm going to talk today with someone, you're going to love her, Holly Parker. And now by trade, she's in real estate, but not just in real estate. in her career, she has sold over $8 billion of luxury properties. Billions with a B. However, she also is a woman. She's like all the rest of us. And after 7 years of marriage, she found herself facing divorce and, of course, facing being back on the market, out there dating again. And it's weird, you might be in your 40s or your 50s, but you feel like you're, I don't know, 16 again. So she decided to write a book about it for all of us women. And it's kind of like the book I wrote. Oh, okay. Shameless plug of the day. Set myself up for that one. Why did I come into this room? Where you write about something that all of us deal with, all the issues, the good, the bad, and the ugly that we deal with in life, but with humor, because you got to talk about these things with humor. So she did the same kind of thing. It's Back on the Market, a guide to life, love, and dating. I got a sneak peek since Laura Morton, who you met here, who's worked on a lot of books with me, is working on this book with her. And by the way, this is one of those many books that was supposed to come out right now and has gotten pushed back to, I don't know, November or December because of what's going on. But the book is hilarious because she writes about it through a realtor's eyes. So she writes about, that you got to really have good curb appeal and you have to fix the damaged foundation, and you shouldn't list yourself until you're really ready to start, dating again. And I love that she talks about dating fixer-uppers and forever renters. So we're going to talk about this with her. I'm going to call her. All right. FaceTime, Holly Parker. All right. I just tested this a few minutes ago. So, hey, there she is. Hi, Holly. How you doing?
Hi, Joan. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm just kind of giving you a little setup here. And I got a sneak peek, of course, at your book since Laura Morton's writing with you too. Hilarious, and yet filled with like tons of information about what all of us deal with, the emotions of friendship and being a friend and how to be a better friend, and then that thing called friend divorce, which we'll talk about. I want you to say hi to everybody. Whoops, let's see.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so this is Holly, and as I said, she's like all the rest of us. She, faced divorce, but I should say, in her words, she found a great hot property and she closed the deal. So she did remarry, and she also had a set of twins like me, right?
Yes. I can't believe you have two sets of twins.
I know.
Joan.
I'll see you a pair.
I know, right?
So listen, you write about all these things that all of us experience. And I want to get to the friend part, but I first have to ask you about the dating part. I loved when you talked about dating forever renters. For a while, I thought my Jeff might be a forever renter. It took him 3.5 years to ask me.
Oh my God. Yeah, and, the forever renters.
Yeah, and I finally said, that's it. You're either in or you're out. But I love fixer-uppers. Why do women think that they can, I'll just get him to marry me and then I'll change him? Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a common one. That's a common one, right? But, we have to be honest about what we're really dealing with. A first floor apartment is never going to be a penthouse. So if you move in expecting outside space and light and air, it's just not going to happen.
Well, one of the things that happens though when you divorce, in thinking about friends, it seems like, or not divorce, just split up, whatever. It seems like your friends, like there's no such thing as shared custody. It seems like the friends either go with one party or the other. It seems like normal that way.
Yeah, and I feel like the community feels like there's pressure around it. People, certain people came to me and said, we're on Team Holly, we're with you. And I said, no, you don't have to pick. You don't have to choose. You can have both. And they said, everybody has to choose. So people do feel like they need to draw the line, although I believe that you really don't have to.
Well, there's a lot of emotions that go along with that. That can be hurtful because you just thought that they were just friends, and talk about some of the emotions that go along with friend divorce when someone stops contact with you, and especially if you just can't figure out why.
Why? Well, a friend divorce for me was, I had already been divorced from my real marriage, and my very best friend for 20 years, who, was sort of your friend soulmate, right?
Yeah.
Where your Laura Morton says that friends come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have these lifers that we invest. The two most valuable things that we have are our time and our hearts. So with these lifers, we tend to really pour everything into. So what happens when a lifer is out and you don't know why? And that happened to me. I met with this gay friend, and I called him my gay husband. And I never really got those answers. So the most important thing for me was to then be my own best friend. I'm not going to find the answers to this one.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. But if I am my own best friend and I am my lifer, right? If I can be true to myself and come first and have that special time, those dates, whatever it may be, with myself, then that's the investment that I'll always have. I'll never, ever be without a best friend.
It's interesting. We have Christine Guarino who says, that's not a forever renter. That's a squatter.
I love it.
So she's, and someone else, Susan Simeon, says friend divorce is sometimes even needed, a cleansing of the soul. But what I find is that, so that everybody understands exactly what we're talking about, there are certain times in life that this just happens. For instance, you have a childhood friend, you were best friends through grammar school and high school, and then you guys go away to college. And especially then in your 20s, it's kind of like, remember in high school, you had a best girlfriend and then one of you got a boyfriend and all of a sudden all your time was spent. It was like, hey, wait a minute, what happened to me? But that really can happen when someone goes away to college and their life, their circumstances change. They have a job and their time commitment is just kind of different and you're not part of that anymore. Isn't that one of the real times that this happens? It's still really disconcerting.
It is disconcerting. And of course, there are the ebb and flows of relationships and the ebb and flows that we have with these changing chapters. But I think this one was more abrupt because it was that very, very, very best friend that we did everything with. And then there weren't those answers. And the more I started talking to people, the more people started immediately saying, oh my gosh, that happened to me.
Yeah.
That happened to me. And I never, and the biggest thing with this subject is that nobody ever understood why.
Yeah.
They never got the answer. So it's a lot like dating in that, there's so many movies that talk about this where they're like, maybe he got kidnapped and is held hostage down in South America.
Because we're, as women particularly, maybe guys too, but I think for a lot of women, you tend to want to like run it over and over and over and over and over in your head. And so somehow it's going to go, 3 apples are going to come up and, oh, that's the reason why. And you say that you have to look at life in chapters in order to let go and kind of move on.
Yeah, you almost need to have, take inventory of the relationship and have a little funeral over it and say there were some beautiful times and I'm going to remember those times, but it's time for me to let go. It's time for me to connect to myself because, while it happens here and there, hopefully you're not going to lose yourself for a long period of time.
Because that's tough, because if you're used to doing something with other people, and then all of a sudden, like, who are you going to go to the movies with? Who are you going to go shopping with? It's weird and it's uncomfortable.
Well, and other people ask you.
Yeah.
Right? Other people ask you, hey, what's good? Because you're an item, you're a couple. Even though you're not, you're best friends.
Well, I have here Linda Griffin. She says after she got divorced, she just stopped being invited places.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's also Brad Webb that wants to know if Holly is single because he'd like to make an offer. No, Brad Webb. She's already been purchased and is happy with her location and property. Marilyn Webb is just saying hi from Nova Scotia. So let me ask you something else, though. I love the fact that you say you have to fix your damaged foundation. And and I found this after I got divorced, and you have to like get yourself in a certain place. I love that Laura Morton says the essence of this book is really about being able to fall in love with yourself again.
Yeah.
And because if you're not happy and you're not exuding happiness, you're not really attractive to people.
Oh, yeah. And in real estate, we call this turning on your lights, right? Oh. Turning on your lights.
And
because
staging.
Showing a property in the dark, even on a regular day, turning on the lights is an absolutely different experience. And when people are connected to themselves, this light shines from within you, right? When you have that peace and connection to yourself, then everybody wants a part of you.
Yes, because you just, when you, like I said, you know, when I went through my transition, I started with the outside, you know, fitness, and I got all fit and healthy. And then when you say, oh, wow, look at what I could do with the outside, you kind of naturally turn to the inside. And then I started like really talking about, you know, letting go of the frustration and anger and upset. And all of a sudden, I was like a different person. And I don't know whether my husband, Jeff, would have been attracted to me the day that he walked into a deli and saw me if I didn't exude happiness.
So that you think was the hook, right?
Yeah, and I think with him too, I looked at him and I remember I said to my daughter, Sarah, she was probably 10, why can't I meet a nice guy like that? And she said, why do you think he's nice? How do you know he's nice? I said, well, just look at his smile. And his happiness came through not only his smile, it was throughout his eyes. I said, he looks like he's super happy, but not cocky. That's what I read from him. And I think he read the same thing from me, that I was ready. Because I love that you said somewhere, you said, don't list until you're ready to sell.
Don't list until you're ready to sell.
That's so true. And not just in dating and finding a guy, but in friendship. And you've got to be a good friend for someone else to want to be your friend.
Exactly. And you have to love yourself in order to really be ready to love another person. And it's okay not to be ready. It's okay to be what I call WIP, a work in progress, under construction.
Yeah, not quite completed yet.
Right? You might need a full renovation. You might just, need a couple of days of some light work. But whatever it is, it sounds to me like you did that heavy lifting.
I did.
And that's why, what was it exactly that transpired? How did you hook him?
Well, it's interesting. It was through the eyes of a 10-year-old because she said, well, then go say hi. And I was like, you don't just go and say hi to a guy. What do you mean? Why not? Well, I don't know. That's just not kind of what women do. Oh, so he has to come and say hi to you? I said, kinda, yes. And, thank goodness. I mean, Laura Morton, oh my God, she's the one who was at the table. She was
I love it.
She was the common denominator kind of because he had been invited to a party at my house out in the Hamptons, but by a friend who was Laura Morton's friend, not really my friend. And she's the one who took the pen out of her purse and said, once he came over to my table and said, here, let me give you her number.
I love it.
Because I hadn't just been, part of it is staging, part of it is gaining your confidence back. And listen, this is not just about guys. I write about a lot in my book about aging. And,
I love your book. It's so funny.
Good. Well, my husband, we tend to live about 10 years longer than men, just in general. And of course, my husband always says the reason why men die before their wives is because they want to. Yeah, everybody, that's why I'm the public speaker and he's not. But it is true that as women age, I mean, we have a different kinds of issues. And one of the most important things in aging successfully is having friends. Having not just the husband or the brother or sister, friends. Friends are the family that we choose. And it's being able to wake up in the morning and having friends that you know, if you're feeling sad, that you can call and talk to. If something just happened great, that you can call and share it with them. So we need to become comfortable with ourselves, and we need to collect friends and build that circle of friends in order to really age successfully. So I love that you say you have to be able to fall in love with yourself to the point that I'm going to share something. I hope it's okay. I'm going to share this. Sure. You and a bunch of your girlfriends, kind of like your crew, you went away and you actually staged a wedding and you all got married to yourselves. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you are right. And you met one of them, Mindy Stern.
Oh my gosh, we had Mindy.
She was one of them.
We had her on the other day, and she emanates joy and exuberance and fun. Yep. You want to be her friend.
You do, and she is a dear friend, and I love her like crazy. But we went down to Mexico. We were at a retreat there in the Mexican jungle, and under a full moon, we got dressed. Mindy wore her Wonder Woman costume. Another friend of ours had Cece Walken had her Wonder Woman costume. We had princesses, we had queens. We all dressed in what we wanted to marry ourselves. And around this big fire and a full moon, we said our vows to ourselves and what that meant to us. And it was, it was life lasting for sure.
I'll bet it was. I ran a women's camp for 10 years. And one of the first things we did is I gave them all these little pieces of paper that looked like, I don't know, Louis Vuitton luggage or something, but they were bags. And I said, open it up and write on it what baggage you think you carry around with you all the time, and that you think you'd like to lose. And maybe this weekend can be the start of that. And they were all writing. Of course, my mother-in-law looked at her husband and said, how do you spell your name, Donnie?
That's so funny.
But and then they came up and we had this roaring campfire up in the Indian Council fire at my husband's summer camp for kids. And those women, the act of actually taking that piece of paper and putting it into the fire and watching it go up in flames somehow just did something to them emotionally.
Yeah.
It was a commitment. It was their own
person.
Yeah.
We did, that act of ceremony. I mean, think about in different religions how much ceremony is a part of that, and we can create our own ceremonies of these things, and a ceremony for ourselves or like that, and to play out these rituals is really, really powerful. It can be.
You know what? We have Joyce Graybo. She's saying, I remember doing our baggage at the campfire. Linda Richmond says, yes, and mine was really heavy. And Linda Richmond says, now this didn't come up for me. She says, today is National Friends Day. Oh my gosh. If that's true, then this is so appropriate.
This is very appropriate.
And she says, one of my friends just messaged me to pass it on. So I'm passing it on. So this is great. I mean, we're getting really, really a lot of great feedback. Someone, I won't say a name, been married 34 years, close to divorce, and it's really scaring her. That's really, well, part of the reason is that you feel like then you're going to be out there like on your own. And that's a scary thought.
Well, and we talk about that the unknown is one of the scariest things. Yeah. That's why in all the horror movies, you don't see, the murderer. That's right. You don't see Jason. You don't see Michael Myers, because the unknown is the most terrifying thing out there. But it also can be the beginning
Yes.
this new adventure that could be the best part of your life.
Well,
and I'm not saying divorcing is the best part of your life.
But it is interesting that once you're past that mark of being scared, being stuck in the place that you know you don't want to be, and then you get out there and then you're scared because it's all new. But eventually what happens, the most important thing, again, Laura said, the essence of your book is figuring out how to fall in love with yourself again. And that takes some introspection, Holly.
It does. And so when you have that panic, oh my gosh, I'm all alone, I'm going to die alone, then all of a sudden, maybe just meditation is always a thing that I love to connect to myself. But just to say, you're not alone. You're with your best friend. You're with me. I'm here.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be with you. And we're still going to have fun. And we're still going to go and do things. But it's easy to say. It's a lot of work.
Because it does take, but you need to find your own self-confidence to be able to walk over to that person at whatever, like you got to put yourself out there, whether it's clubs or whether it's a gym or whether it's a book club or whatever it is, it's maybe a church, to be able to walk over to someone else and say hi. And ask them about themselves and listen.
Yeah.
You know,
I did that. Yeah,
absolutely.
I did that with Mark. I walked over to him and said,
"Did you really?"
Hi. Oh yeah. That's the last chapter of the book. That's a fun one.
Oh my gosh. I am so proud of you. So in awe of you.
Thank you. I did. I was leaving a party. I didn't want to be there. It was Christmas. I was in a terrible mood. Everyone was in love. I had seen something like 5 engagements. Who sees 5 engagements when you're miserable? I'm like, the universe is taunting me right now. And I went to a party and I was leaving and I went over to the elevator and I pressed the button and I turned around and I'd been watching him talk to just about every pretty girl at the party. And I thought, you know what? I think I need to talk to him before I leave. And the doors of the elevator opened and I walked over to Mark and I said, hello. And then the rest is history. So, but I had done a lot of work, and that's about what the book is about. And also, you know, the 3 most difficult things in life that they say, right, is death, divorce, and moving. And the moving and divorce part, they're very similar, actually. And that's why I was really so thrilled to finally get this book out and write it. Because what we need to do for a property, especially luxury properties, but all properties, the process of that is absolutely follows dating, right?
You call it staging. We call it getting our together.
Yeah. Fixing your foundation.
Yeah.
Right?
So and wait a second. I have a few people. Oh my gosh, this is my husband. What's he saying now? The only thing worse than being alone is wishing you were. So you write in your book about Coyote Arm?
Yes.
This is usually a guy's story, but go ahead.
So Coyote Arm is if you have had an evening where you wake up the next day and you look at the person and you chew your arm off so that they don't wake up and you can just run out. Yeah. Coyote Arm.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that the digital world that we're living in makes friend divorce easier? Because I mean, I hear all the time from my daughters that guys break up on text or on Snapchat.
Right.
Do you think that because so many people are now, I mean, God only knows what's happening right now, and I don't even know how someone dates in right now, but do you think that because everything's so, I don't know, it's a little more detached, you're not face to face, that this is making friend divorce more prevalent?
I do. I think that communication is something that we all need to work at, especially communicating difficult things, right?
Yeah.
It's there's a whole study on it. They say to move when you're when you're talking about something really difficult. They say get up and move. Go, like if you're on a phone call, then walk. Right?
Get out of that space.
That movement in your body makes it easier. So there's so much to learn about communication, which isn't happening because we have these devices. And yes, I think it's unfortunately getting worse and worse, because instead of talking about the hard stuff, which, as you know, being married, that is what a marriage is about, is tackling those hard conversations. And that's how you get closer, hopefully.
And I think a lot of people agree with you. Anna Mae Foley says, I think when we go through these challenges, it makes us much stronger as individuals. And this is something, I mean, like this, think about all your friends. Like, I don't know, a lot of my friends were my children's best friends' parents. And when those people go off, when the kids go off to college, sometimes that link, that thread that held you all together. And sometimes I think about people who I was really good friends with, and I think, why haven't I talked to her in so long? And it's not because you don't like her. Somehow it like elusively disengaged.
Right. And maybe they came into your life for that reason.
That's true.
To kind of raise the kids together. And that was it. That was your time together. And that's okay. I don't think that has necessarily a negative connotation. I think it's great just to send love and say, thinking about you and all the beautiful times we had together.
And here's Nancy Williams, who says, it's very hard to make new friends at our age. I've been trying for the last 2 years. The first thing that comes to my mind, Nancy, is a quote. I love quotes. Quotes are a few words that make such a huge impact. A smile is the shortest distance between two people. And it's amazing when you smile, even if you just make that happen and you didn't really feel it, but you make it happen, someone else will smile back at you. And all of a sudden, there's this joyful connection that makes the two of you want to say hi to each other. A smile, when you move your lips into a smiling position, it actually sends a signal to your brain to be happy, which lasts, they say, for like minutes and minutes. So I think that that's probably one of the best things to do. Here's Debbie Bierman saying, I call this cleaning house. As you get older, you realize who your real friends are. And that's true, but sometimes friends, I mean, I don't want to say it the wrong way. They die, they move away. They don't mean to separate from you. They just do. And again, one of the most important parts to successful aging is having friends. So I think we've been on about a minute 32. So I usually try to keep this at about 30 minutes. Let's end today, Holly, by saying, let's not and a mwah to ourselves in order to try to start falling. And if you wonder why a friend left, sometimes you might start, like thinking about yourself and why, it might not just be that they have a new life, they got married, they moved away. There might be a little something about ourselves that might not be engaging, where we need to become better listeners, whether we need to be more compassionate, where we need to give a little bit more. And sometimes you can learn stuff about yourself that might just make you a better person in the future. So happy National Friends Day, Holly.
Amazing. And thank you for being such an amazing role model for women for decades. And it's just been wonderful. So thrilling to get to chat with you.
All right. Bye to everybody. Bye, Holly.
Bye.
All right. I'm going to be back tomorrow with one of the best friends you could ever ask for in life, Charlie Gibson. So you don't want to miss that. I'm telling you, he's just the greatest guy in the world. You're gonna see that. And remember that Wednesday, is it Wednesday that's National Dance Day? I'm challenging you guys right now, okay? And nobody even has to know that you're taking me up on. I'm not like asking you to pour like ice over your head like the ice bucket challenge. But Wednesday is International Dance Day. So either get your kids, if they're young enough that they'll still talk to you without thinking that you're a total moron for asking them to do this with you, get your kids around. Maybe get your husband to do this with you. He might think mine's not with me, but he might think I'm wackadoodle if I ask him. But no, he's enough of a romantic. If I put a wonderful song on, When a Man Loves a Woman, and dance, or you can just go into a room in your house, put on some, rock music, and dance. Get those endorphins going, get that smile on your face, get that feeling, and then we'll meet back the next day. All right, but I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 1:00. Have a good day. Namaste, everyone.